But my childhood will never be forgotten. I still hear the laughs, they laughing, they taunting. Foster rat, that's all I was, that's all we were. My foster parents, they didn't care. It was not a parent, they were a foster parents. I was a chicken to a farmer, I was just a child, no shield, no armor. All I was a token for money. Not once did I hear the sweet words, do you need anything, honey? Words like clean the dog shit became my norm. But when my mother came to visit, I felt loved and warm. She lived with tears on my face. But mama, how can you leave me in this awful place? Where all I was a foster rat eating off the ground. Where I was humiliated and clowned to eat with dogs on the floor. Being a foster rat is like plate tectonics on its core. You separate matter that has been there for so long. But who the fuck were they to treat me so wrong? They were mad scientists stuck on greed. They didn't care what I need. But why would they? We weren't they see. Just another foster rat trying to survive a day. Child services would pretend everything was okay. Close one eye because at the end of the day, no one gives two shit about a rat living in the city. All it was pure fucking pity. They gave a mice to a full-grown kitty. A foster rat is forced to think that they aren't wanted. I still hear the laughs, they laughing, they taunting. Foster rat, that's all I was hungry for the comfort of my parents, not no fucking foster parents. A foster rat is craving his cheese to help me be at ease. I don't look back and see a 5-year-old kid. I wish I did, but how can you see something that was never there? Young foster rat was aware that living in this rat house was temporary. Mama told me not to worry. She never gave up on this foster rat that lost hope. Till this day, I consider myself a foster rat. I haven't forgotten. I still hear the laugh. They laughing, they haunting. That was one of them. Have you ever seen a blind man pace each and every step? I did, and I tell you, it kept me mesmerized, for he was new at this, he was surprised. We as humans do not appreciate the senses we obtain, like the drop of rain, it's moist and wet, but no one acknowledges it, I bet. I bet no one values the sound of a car racing the road, or the beautiful fluorescent colors you see on the toad, the beautiful color spectrum my eyes get to see, such beauty, such divine grace, yet we do not value our senses such a waste. Have you ever smelled the polluted air of Chicago? No, too much to ask, such a tough task to appreciate one's sights every time the light flickers on and off the cones of your eyes. But to men, women, we sure love it when the opposite sex touch our thighs. We value what we lust, not what has become a norm. We have become blind with each and every single form. We forget the blessing it is being able to skip, run, or walk. We forget the blessing it is being able to talk. Could you imagine learning sign language from one day to another? Or maybe living in a wheelchair, being pushed by your mother? Or being fed by someone else for a lifetime, not being able to make one single dime? Touch, smell, sound, sight. We sure need them right. So why is it some people slowly kill them away? I've heard of people who watch TV all damn day, pop an acid, Molly, or an NX. Did you not do your research? It can leave you with Tourette's, anxiety you never had. But aren't you glad that your fingers are still useful to hold the blunt? Or that your tongue is still useful to say, eat this fucking cunt, to shut out profanity? But being intoxicated makes life so much better. Did you not read the billboard letter? 30 people die a day from drinking and driving. But that's it, you dive in the infested pool of unappreciation. We run away from humiliation. We forget how good it is to feel the breeze run through our face. Yet we still have the audacity to say, God, why did you put me in this awful place? Some people are born with life diseases, life deficiencies, life limitations. Yet we lack the patience. We pity the blind, yet we are in the same line. We've had our eyes closed since our mother's womb. We will have our eyes closed to the day of our tomb. That was that one. Desde pequeña crecí odiando ser mujer, porque yo sentía que no tenía poder en esta sociedad, no tenía respeto en la comunidad, no me gustaba sentir menos que un hombre, tener una vagina no me corresponde. Escuchaba hombres decir que una dama solo sirve para la cama. Escuchaba hombres decir que una mujer solo sirve para la casa o para hacer la masa. Madre, soy mujer, mi hermano es hombre. A lavar los trastes, a él también le corresponde. Sí, es difícil ser mujer, pero la sociedad me ha enseñado que no se fía de ningún ser. He crecido y aprendido que las mujeres somos como las rosas, frágiles, fuertes, bien hermosas. Somos la fruta que da la vida. Somos tan talentosas, por ejemplo, la hermosa Frida. Ella fue la amante del arte. O Krista McAuliffe, la primera que los muestra que volar el espacio sí se pudo. Aunque muchos hombres pensaban que era absurdo. Ella fue mujer, sí se pudo. ¿Recuerdan de Rosie the Riveter trabajando en una factoría para ganarse el pan del día? Ahora cuando un hombre dice que una mujer es menos, yo le agradezco a Dios que me dio senos. Le agradezco a Dios que soy una mujer determinada, porque yo sería nada sin el apoyo de mujeres hoy en día. Como Jane Addams, que quería que las mujeres tengan derechos humanos, peleando por el public welfare, ayudando a la gente a ser más sanos. La lista de mujeres triunfadoras puede seguir. Pero lo que les quiero decir, que ser mujer era una pesadilla creciendo. Pero mira, estás escuchando, estás viendo, soy orgullosa de ser mujer. Yo tampoco no lo pude creer, pero la mujer tiene tanto valor, somos como el sol, les damos calor a sus hijos, esposos, a todos los latosos que nos agradecen a las mujeres. Pero van a aprender, como yo he aprendido, ser mujer es muy lindo, ser mujer es divino. Somos como el vino dulce y fuerte al mismo tiempo. Somos como el viento, les damos alimento a los hombres. So basically what this poem is talking about, it's just basically talking about how, like I said, growing up, my mom grew up where her house was, you're a woman, you do laundry, you have to heat up the tortillas. So she would always try to enforce that with me. Oh, my brothers were older than me, yet I had to be the one doing tortillas. And I would always argue with her about that. Till this day, I always argue about her that I'm not going to be doing their tortillas, I will not be doing their laundry because they have their own hands. So that it also talks about how in the beginning I hated being a woman. I hated that society made me hate it. My mom hated me to be a woman. But now I've learned to appreciate it. Like Toma had said, we give birth, you know, it's such a beautiful thing to be a woman. I mentioned Rosie the Riveter, I mentioned Jane Addams, I mentioned Krista McAuliffe. There's so many inspiring women that I had not known about, and that's just basically talks about in Spanish. And also because I wanted to practice my Spanish, I got inspired last week. So some guy had said his poem in Spanish, and I thought it was so beautiful. So for me to write, to perform in Spanish too was quite different, and I liked it. Weed is not a drug. I guess that means a beetle is not a bug. See, I was in denial before I wake up to hit the bowl. That beautiful aroma, you know, that sensation that makes your nose cringe, that stimulation that makes your mind cringe. Weed, kush, bud, pots. I sure miss it a lot. So why did I let Mary Jane go? Was it a front? Was it a show? Nope. Mary Jane was my girl. I became that one rich man in love with that one peasant. He gave a golden pearl. See, she made me feel loved and alive. She woke up my political side to buy a new shirt. To buy a new skirt. No, Mary Jane came first. She had triggered each and every brain cell. I swear it was like some type of love smell. I'd sit, take a hit, while the couch became my second best friend. I had become like the comedian, blend right through without a word being said. For I had become her slave. I needed her in order to behave. I could never turn my back on faithful Mary Jane, for she was the one that took away my pain. But see, I had bills to pay for, and that's when there was no love no more. She left me broke. I hit it so hard I tend to choke. She left me emotionally fucked up. Yes, I use past tense. She is no longer my number one essence. For now, I am free from the spider web that held me emotionally. I am now held down by poetry. Thank you, guys.
You go, girl!